Alright, so I hate to make this video about this and likely many more videos this season, but I'm feeling good tonight because your boy made a little bit of money on the anonymous player prop betting app that doesn't sponsor me yet, so I will not say their name, because when the Heat were up 5 in the third quarter, I got some pretty good odds on the Celtics, and I did hammer the Celtics money line. I hate to say it, but if the Heat are going to be this incompetent, especially in the fourth quarter, then I might as well take advantage of it. Seriously, I might as well do it. But hey, make sure y'all subscribe because I'm currently trying to get sponsored by one of those platforms. And the numbers are important right now because all these companies look at that. Now, I should say, obviously, gamble responsibly. I feel like I don't say that enough because I do come on these videos and talk about how I like to play Heat money line or bet against Heat money line and whatever the case is. But I don't do this to get rich. I put very small amounts of money just to have some fun. That's the whole purpose. It's impossible to make money gambling. Like it's impossible. So if I do ever sponsor any of those companies, whether it's Prize Picks or Underdog or whoever the hell it may be, just know to do it responsibly. And I do it for fun. That's all I wanted to say. But anyways, I have to do something for fun while watching these games because it's truly pitiful watching this Heat team. A couple of stats tonight that really made me want to vomit profusely everywhere is Peyton Pritchard and Derrick White. Tonight, they combined for 29 points. Bam Adebayo and Tyler Hero, our big two, our leaders of this next era of Heat basketball, they combined for 28 points. So our big two scored less than a couple of guards, one of them being a backup guard on the Boston Celtics. Another stat is in the fourth quarter, Derrick White scored 12 points. Your Miami Heat in the fourth quarter scored 12 points. We scored as many points as that ugly, bald-headed hoe Derrick White on the other team, who every single game that the Heat played the Celtics, Eric Reed, who I love Eric Reed, but I don't need him to constantly remind us of that Game 6 back in 2023 where Derrick White hit that buzzer beater tipping because Max Strus didn't box him out. That caused me trauma for really only for a couple of days, like true trauma, like having trouble sleeping at night because fortunately the Heat did end up winning Game 7, and of course they did not blow the 3-0 lead that they have. But had Caleb Martin not gone off in that Game 7, had the Heat lost that series, I don't know what I would do. I probably would not have slept a single night in my life since that dark, cold day in 2023. I remember where I was at when Derrick White hit that game winner. I was in New Mexico again. I know I was just there like a month ago, but my girlfriend's got some family there, so we go once a year, maybe once every other year. But we were there in 2023. I was watching the game. I thought the Heat were about to win, so I had tears of joy coming down my eyes, and then as soon as Derrick White hit that game winner, my face went stone cold. I had to excuse everyone in the Airbnb because she had a lot of family there, and of course everyone's looking at me because they all know I'm the Heat fan, so I'm looking like an idiot. Everyone's over there laughing and crying and screaming and pointing at me. Meanwhile, this is the worst day of my life, and these people think it's a joke. So I had to go to the top of the Airbnb. There was a nice balcony overlooking the mountains, and I just had to ponder for a couple of hours after that. And then funny enough, the next day, we were actually planning to going to White Sands, New Mexico. Derrick White Sands, New Mexico. So basically, it's just these vast mountains of just this deep white sand, and there's nothing else but mountains of sand. And everywhere I looked, I just saw Derrick White's face. It truly traumatized me. So I don't need Eric Reed bringing that up every single game. Needless to say, I don't know what the hell else y'all want me to talk about. I got a bunch of notes. Y'all want me to get into it? I can. For the Celtics, you had no Jaylen Brown today. You had no Porzingis. I guess I should mention that. The Heat did roll out a new starting lineup. They took out Davion Mitchell and Khalil Ware, and they started Jaime Jaquez Jr. and Duncan Robinson. Both of those guys did have some moments today. But early on, it didn't look great. We know Spoelstra said against that Knicks game a couple of weeks ago, and I'm going to keep bringing it up because I thought it was completely stupid. But Spoelstra said, we didn't play Khalil Ware in the fourth quarter because we wanted to go small to limit threes by the other team. Well, it hasn't worked since. It didn't work tonight because the Celtics started the game 4 for 4 from 3. 5 minutes in, Drew Holiday had 10 points. The Miami Heat had 8. But then Khalil Ware came in. He immediately caught a lob from Andrew Wiggins, and I was happy to see the Rook kind of stay rejuvenated off of the bench. The Heat were down as much as 14 in the first quarter, but they were only down 9 by the end of it. And then in that second quarter, you saw another guy come off the bench and just bring incredible energy, and of course, that was Davion Mitchell. He hit a 3, and then he had an and one layup, in which he missed the free throw, but then he forced a turnover directly after that, and he was full court pressing Peyton Pritchard, which I absolutely loved. And you could tell it meant something to Mitchell because Mitchell did get cooked like the first possession he was in by Pritchard. Pritchard just had an incredible step through right under Mitchell, which I always thought that was a travel. I learned a couple years ago it's not. Like where the offensive player has both their feet set, you're actually allowed to lift up your pivot foot if you go right into the shot. I think it's a terrible rule because it's almost impossible to guard, but it is the rule. But after Pritchard got that one bucket on Mitchell, Davion shut that down the rest of the game pretty much. But then eventually, what else do we got here? Oh, yeah, also Davion Mitchell, he was pushing pace a lot. I wanted to note that. I said a few weeks ago that he reminds me of Norris Cole in the way that if he gets a rebound, he goes coast to coast and try to score or get a foul. He did that today too. And it's just nice to see the pace of this team pick up a little bit because they're a very slow team. But Davion does help that a little bit. Eventually, the Heat would get a lead, though, off of an absolute dime by Tyler Hero. He found a cutting Pelle Larsson. And then it's like the Heat can't get out of their own way. It's been the story of the season. Tyler Hero, Drew Holiday was posting Hero up. Tyler just had a beautiful strip, just great defense. Kyle Lowry-esque. I don't like Kyle Lowry, but he was good at stripping defenders or stripping the offensive player when they were going up. But then it was out of bounds on Jaime Jaquez. So Celtics got the ball back. Holiday lost the ball again. But then Davion tipped it out of bounds. And then the Celtics missed again. And then Al Horford got the rebound and he kicked it out to Drew Holiday, who hit a three. So right after the Heat finally take the lead, they give the Celtics 4 chances, and Holiday hits a 3. The very next play, Tyler Hero loses the shoe. Celtics do miss, but then Horford gets the offensive rebound, and it kicks out to a Holiday 3 once again. Back-to-back possessions for the Boston Celtics, so really the Heat cannot get out of their own way. That being said, there was a few lead changes in the second quarter. Hero hit a heavily contested 3 to take the lead right back. Bam had an insane block, which led to a Davion Mitchell fast break to Wiggins, who took the lead back later in the game. There was several trash calls by Tony Brothers, who we know is one of the worst officials in the entire league. I said last video that Mark Davis is my least favorite. Tony Brothers is a close second, very close second. That guy sucks. Every game I've ever been to in which Tony Brothers officiates, there's always a ref you suck chant. Always. I don't know how he has his job. But he called a terrible play where he said that Bam hooked, I think it was like Neemias Queta maybe or something, because they went to challenge it, or Missoula challenged it because initially they said foul on the Celtics. And it was one of those plays where the Celtics player hooked Bam's arm first, but as Bam tries to get his arm out, he has to hook the Celtics player back. How do you miss the guy who hooked Bam first? I don't understand it. But anyways, Wiggins would end up taking the lead again later on with a mid-range fadeaway. He was awesome in the first half, had 14 points. Somehow, Bam only took 3 shots. He struggled a lot last game. I was hoping he would bounce back today. Spoiler alert, he did not. And also a funny stat from the first half, Tyler Hero passed Jimmy Butler in all-time points with the Miami Heat. So does that mean Hero is a better player than Jimmy in Heat history? No, but you could make that argument if you're a Jimmy Butler hater. Which I am not. But it is a funny stat because, truthfully, I might have already expected Hero to be ahead of Jimmy just because Hero mostly averaged more points per game in his time here, although he did have a rookie season where he probably didn't average as much, and both guys did kind of have a lot of injury concerns. So I thought it would be close, which I guess it was. But all that being said, it was tied at the half. Going into the third quarter, it started immediately like the first quarter did with a Drew Holiday 3. But Jaime Jaquez had a decent third quarter. Had an and one off rip. Hit a couple of corner threes later in the corner too. Duncan Robinson hit a few threes in that quarter. Tyler Hero had a nasty snatch back in the corner, just completely shook Sam Hauser out of his shoes. He hit a 3. Yeah, Davion Mitchell was continuing to be a menace. Drew an offensive foul on Tatum. He had a beautiful strip on Peyton Pritchard, who looked like he was going to have an open layup in the fast break. So things were rolling for the Heat. They got up as much as 5, but the Celtics did take a 1-point lead at the end of the third quarter. And then in the fourth quarter, that's when everything went to crap, as expected. For some reason, Spo did not have Hero or Bam out there to start the quarter. He had a lineup of Davion, Duncan, Wiggins, Pella, and Khalil Ware. And that's when I really noticed, oh, wait, we didn't see Terry Rozier today. Terry Rozier played no minutes, which is refreshing, but it didn't make a difference nonetheless. Derrick White hit a couple of threes to start the fourth quarter. The second one was like an absolute bomb, or like a 35-foot bomb over Bam Adebayo. That put the Celtics up 7. The Heat at this point could not get a free throw to save their life. They finished the day 10 of 17 from the free throw line. That's 58%. In a game that they lost by 12, they missed 7 free throws. But obviously that, if they would have hit a few in the fourth quarter to start when they got to the line, maybe things could have been a little bit different. But in general, it's not just the free throws. The offense as a whole was terrible. There was one point the Celtics missed 6 straight shots and the Heat just couldn't take advantage. You had Hero trying to draw a foul on a 3. He shot a dumbass fading forward 3, in which he looked like an idiot. How about you try to score instead of trying to draw the foul? Y'all are not hitting your free throws anyways. You had Bam Adebayo wide open in the corner, hit the side of the backboard. They said he got blocked. I don't think so because he looked wide open to me. You had Jaime Jaquez not knowing what the hell the shot clock was at. Forced up a shot, laid, airballed, shot clock violation. Eventually, it looked like the Heat might have one final push. Wiggins got a dunk to cut it to a 5-point game. Mitchell had a 3, and that made it a 4-point game with 4 minutes to go. And then Derrick White shut all that crap down, hit another ridiculous fading 3-pointer, and that would put the Celtics up about 10. There was 2 minutes to go. And then you got what I thought was the worst call of the game from an officiating standpoint. Spo challenged. They said Davion Mitchell fouled Tatum on a 3, so Spo decided to challenge. Although the game was over, but still, why not? You can't take your challenges with you. And on this play, I'm thinking it's getting overturned because before Davion made any contact with Tatum hooked Davion Mitchell clear as day on a drive. And Tatum, he gets such a great whistle. They talk about Shea or talk negatively about Shea. Tatum needs that same disrespect too with his off-arm push and the hooking that he does on every drive. It's so annoying, and he gets every call. So first he hooked Mitchell. Then he completely traveled. Even John Crotty pointed out. Lifted his pivot foot twice. And then on the actual foul, Davion Mitchell's just standing there with his head, and Tatum raises his elbow right into it, knocks Davion Mitchell's chin. But just like the good old Goran Dragic call back in the day, Goran Dragic gets smacked in the face, foul on Goran. They did the same thing to Davion Mitchell. So the officiating was terrible tonight. Not that it matters, though. The Heat literally only gave up 103 points, but they played well defensively for the most part. And it still wasn't close down the stretch. We'll run through the box score real quick and then get the hell out of here because the Heat played tomorrow as well. You had Andrew Wiggins today. He had 23 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 4 steals. People are annoyed with his shot attempts. We've mentioned this a couple of times because today he had 23 shots on 21 attempts. That's 43%. That's not great. He was a 3 of 8 from 3, which isn't bad. But to me, we've asked all season to give Tyler Hero some offensive help. Wiggins is trying to do that. And I do like that he's had a good mix of threes, mid-range, getting to the rim. So he's providing some of that 3-level scoring. And I know it's a lot of shot attempts, but somebody had to take shots out of Hero's hands or share shots with Hero at least. Somebody had to do it. So I'm not really mad at Wiggins for that. Jaime Jaquez in his start, 13 and 5. He shot 5 of 10, hit a couple of threes. Defensively, he continues to be atrocious, but this season is kind of a waste for him. Let's pray it's a sophomore slump, and he could be a lot better next year for the Phoenix Suns. Half kidding. Bam Adebayo today, extremely disappointing. Back-to-back games where he was pretty non-existent offensively. Obviously, defensively, he continues to be awesome, especially on a day like today where he didn't play with Khalil Ware at all, I think, actually. So he had to do a lot defensively against his big Celtics team. But only 7 shots for Bam is ridiculous. 9 points, 9 rebounds. That can't happen. Duncan Robinson got you 6. And then Tyler Hero, 19 points on only 15 shots. So he really didn't shoot too much today. But 19 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists. So all around, he was not bad today at all. Although defensively, he made some nice plays. But Drew Holiday was still picking on him most of the game. That's why Drew Holiday finished today with 25 points. Second leading scorer for the Celtics after Tatum. But yeah, Drew Holiday shot 10 of 15. 10 of 15, 5 of 8 from 3. That should not happen. Off the bench, Davion Mitchell played 35 minutes. He had 12 points, 9 rebounds, 4 assists. He's been awesome. He continues to be awesome. We talked about his defense. I love it. And then, another scoreless game for Haywood Highsmith. Almost had the Tony Snell cardio game. 9 minutes, 0 points, 0 rebounds, 0 assists, 0 blocks, 1 steal. So almost had it, but he did have 1 statistic. Khalil Ware wasn't great today, had a couple of dunks, but 7 points in 15 minutes. And Pelle Larson, 2 points in 15 minutes. Nothing of substance there. Jason Tatum today, 28 points on 38% shooting. That's nice. But then you realize he was 7 of 7 from the free throw line. Yeah, I don't know. It's tough. He gets every single whistle. But I don't know. If you want to take the optimistic route, hey, The Heat played 3 really competitive quarters with the Celtics. They were very competitive for 3.5 quarters versus Cleveland. Outside of the Clippers game, I know they just got blown out. They've been relatively competitive with everyone. So maybe you have some faith that if you can get a guy next year, get some more internal development, maybe they'll be a good team. Or you can look at it as every time it comes to winning time in the fourth quarter, this team sucks. They are inept offensively, and they need a major roster overhaul going into next season. I think I lean closer to that side, to be honest with you. But anyways, the Miami Heat do play tomorrow at 8 o'clock versus the Memphis Grizzlies, as they will try to avoid losing their 7th straight game. I posted a couple videos over the last week about tanking, and I said in yesterday's video they might not have a choice because the schedule's getting rough, and so far it is leaning that direction as well. But anyways, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. I'm very curious to hear what y'all think, and I'll see y'all in tomorrow's post-game video. Peace out, everyone.
Look, pull up in your city trying to get that dead face. Do it on my own, I don't need no dead weight. Had to kill him off, yeah, I need a head space. You know this homegrown bitch don't offend me.